Killersen arasında.
Okay. We have 2 people watching. Hey guys, we'll start shortly. Let's wait a little bit.
Hey guys, how you doing?
We cannot hear them, so the stream is good. They should be able to hear us. So I think we need to move camera a little bit. Like, can you tilt a little bit? Okay, let me. Sorry guys, this is our first live stream.
And we're boomers, as you can see.
Yeah, we're messing up. Okay. Nope, a little bit more. Yeah. 6 people watching. Nice.
Yay!
Malayache. Hazamin, can you hear us okay? What happened? Can you hear us okay, Hazamin?
Say yes.
I don't know how the quality is. This is obviously the first time. Double sound. So double sound, or what do you mean? Voice is okay but echoey. Voice is okay but echoey. So let me try.
Are there two streams there?
Can you hear us now? No, you shouldn't be able to hear us now. Can you hear us now? Can you hear us? Double sound. Much better. Perfect. That's better. Okay, so that means we need to... Is there any microphone that's picking up? I don't know. Like, we should be able... So this is better, right? So this is the main microphone that we're using. Better.
Perfect.
Perfect. 11 people. Yay, this is nice. All right. Thank you guys for checking the sound. So yeah, obviously you can see this is gonna be then more casual
Learning process.
Yeah, more casual process. This is literally the first stream that we've never done this before.
Not like that. Remember we told you guys that we were a gaming channel like 2 or 3 years ago?
Yeah, but we never put our face there. It's just game that
actually I had my face there
a few times, but it's easier when
my face was a bit smaller, so it was easier to put on the camera basically.
Right. So let me check the stream health. Stream settings, viewer activity, everything is good. Yeah. All right. So you guys can hear us, right? So I just want to make sure. Sound is good. Everything is good, right? Nobody's writing. I'm not sure. Yes. Okay, Mr. Monster. Yes. Okay. Thank you guys. Yes, good. All good. So guys, it is 2 minutes past midday right now. So thank you for joining. So this is going to be our first stream. So we'll try to do this regularly, probably once a month. So this is the learning curve for us. So don't just it's going to be the casual stream. Don't be so critical about the stream because as you know we want to deliver all the time the better content. But by the time I think we're gonna be we'll invite more people. We'll invite team members to this stream and we're gonna stream for you. So this is the stream where we're gonna answer your questions live. You can ask any question.
Not this one.
So we'll try to answer that question, but if we may not have an answer, so we'll go back and try to get an answer for you. So Coopinator, yes. So he starts a question. 100 Years War when? So let me just give the quick answer. So we really tried to do this 100 Years War. We started with the Battle of Crécy, and the next battle is Poitiers, and lots of people did Poitiers. Tons of people did Poitiers, and that's the second battle. So we have to skip that battle because it's overdone. But at the same time, we really want to cover that battle, that series. So maybe next year. What do you say?
I think 2020 we will finally cover 100 Years War, and Actually, we started researching already, so it should be probably in spring.
So yeah, we have. I think we have scripts ready. We have lots of things ready. We can reuse the earlier maps and things like that, but it's kind of timing thing. And right now we have, like we counted last time, and there are around how many? I think 18 series right now we're running in parallel. Too many series. Too many series. I don't know why error occurred here, but I hope you guys can see me. Okay, that was my screen. So we have 18 series if you count the Cochrane, Tecumseh, Mesopotamia, 30 Years War, the Mongols, Napoleon, Ottomans, the Korean War. Tecumseh, I said okay. Tecumseh. So there are lots of series right now, and we kind of don't want to start another one. It's gonna be a little bit hard to manage, but probably early 2020 we will try to do that. Next question is from Ekmal Sukarno. He says, hey guys, how are you doing right now? We're doing okay. Nervous a little bit, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie, because this is our first live stream, and I hope you guys will enjoy this. And after this stream ends, just give us your feedback on Discord or Patreon, or if you remember. Just let us know how we can improve the stream. So the goal of this stream is kind of to engage with you a little bit more, to answer your questions. Maybe there is any suggestions, anything that you want to tell us to our faces. You're more than welcome to do that.
Meanwhile, as we don't have any questions right now, let me just explain why we are starting so many series. The problem with YouTube is that when you release videos too often on the same topic, it basically, I don't know why, but it stops suggesting it to people. So, for instance, when we were releasing Wars of Roses, if I'm not mistaken, I offered Milan to release it in quick succession, because I had all the scripts ready and they were just free scripts. But the second video did at 50% of the first video, and it was released 1 week later. So there are many examples of this, and it shows us that we need to diversify our series as much as possible. So right now we try to release a video in the series every 5 to 6 weeks, because it seems like an optimal way to do it. Even something extremely popular like Korean War, the second video didn't do as well as the first one, and we think that it's because of the way YouTube is set, basically. But whatever we have started, we will end. That's about it.
Yeah, so even Mongols, that's our most popular series by far. But starting from the Ain Jalut, which was the 4th episode or the 5th episode, we see that views going down. And we had to react. I think you should move a little bit closer to me.
Yeah, because I can't see anything.
You cannot fit today.
I'm too fat, I know. So shut up.
All right, so Eugene, man, the research game is amazing, definitely, with all the different series. Yeah, so I want to shout out to Matt, Leo. So they are historians, basically, so they do the research mainly. Ilkin finishes the scripts. So yeah, I just want to shout out to them. So they're amazing, they've been great. And both of them were the long-standing Kings and Generals fans. So we have this, I don't know if you guys know about this. Yeah, so we have this secret group. It's called the Nobles and Officers. So it's Georgi, we have a guy, Georgi, that he is the Facebook presence, so he manages that group. He does the different kind of quizzes, maybe you've seen that. He does different kind of debates, and we got Matt from those debates, so he was debating with people on the historical things. And Ilkin, obviously, who's in charge of all the scripts, all the if you see any historical inaccuracy, it's Ilkin, so you should blame him. If you see anything, that in the frame that jumps, or the color is not correct, or things like that, or music is too loud, that's me.
Is music too loud?
It's not. Please say no. It's not. I think I spend hours and hours on the music. Please don't break my heart. Bozorg Meher Mansuri says hello. Hi Bozorg Bozorg Mehr. I hope that I pronounce it right. I think Bozorg means big in Persian. I speak a little bit Persian, tiny bit, and I think I know Bozorg means big. So you should be a big guy. Samuel Moore, do you guys plan to do anything when you reach 1 million subscribers? Thank you, Samuel. Great question. Right now, I think we are kind of 2.5 months away from hitting that 1 million subscriber mark, and we're thinking a lot what we should do to our viewers with to what we need to release for our viewers. We could do the face reveal. We could do some kind of animated video where we thank everybody. Just let me know what you guys think should be the best approach here. So I honestly don't know, but we gonna have to do something about it because it's a huge milestone for us. And to be honest, when we started this channel, I never thought that we could hit 1 million subscribers.
Yeah, we were talking about like peaking around 300k, 400k, something like that.
And the reason for that is not that we're not good or anything like that. I never thought that there is enough history audience on YouTube, because people watch different kind of, I don't know, makeup stuff, I don't know, technology channels, vlogs, PewDiePies and things like that. I never thought that there is enough audience for history, but obviously there is. So, and that makes us really, really happy. That's amazing to know. Serafi Invicta says that we are cuties.
We are cuties, but we are cuties separately.
Yeah.
If you are asking that, so there are separate cuties and so on. So.
Right. Yeah,
But thank you.
But I don't know if there is a question mark at the end or it's a statement.
No, we are cuties. That's it.
Ekmal Sokarn asks, do you know the historical figure named the King Naresuan? Would it be possible for you to make a video on him?
I actually don't know him.
I don't know him either. But maybe let me write it down and check that, and I'll get back to you. Let me take my notes, because as I mentioned in the beginning of the stream, we may not have answered to all the questions, but we'll check and we'll get back to you. King Naresuan. Okay, I noted it, Ekmal. I will get back to you. Mathusudan Singh Ratore. I hope that I pronounced it right. I'm sorry. It's really hard to pronounce some of the names, including my own name. People always butcher my name, and I know it's not the best feeling. So hope you make video on the Rajput battles, as they're just like Spartan of the West. Rajput fought a lot of battles, and they were ruling class since 650 AD to 1947 in India. Okay, so this is not a question, it's a suggestion. We'll check.
Basically, my idea is that we covered a few Indian battles in 2018, if I'm not mistaken. So we need to do more, and we have quite a few planned, but it's all about finding the right audience, basically. And we think that we will cover more Indian battles in 2020.
And not only Indian battles, I think we should do more Asian stuff. And I think you guys will agree that YouTube is a little bit more Eurocentric. Lots of things about Romans, ancient Greece and things like that. Even when we're telling the World War II, we mainly talk about how things happened in Europe. Like we forget about the Pacific War. And things like that. I think we should pay more attention to that region, to just, because there are lots of things. Like when we do the videos like the Zenki, we did the 8 Princes, we did the 3 Kingdoms, Ashoka. When you do that kind of videos, it's kind of, you realize that how much less you know about that region. You know almost nothing about that region, and that is a shame. I think we need to change that a little bit.
But there is a real problem regarding the Asian history. When we released our last video on the Mongols and the invasion of Vietnam, I noticed that although many Chinese sources, Yuan sources, are translated in English, almost no Vietnamese sources translated. So on one hand, it creates some kind of let's call it biased narration, because obviously we see the things from the Iran point of view. On the other hand, sometimes you are not sure if the info is 100% correct. So that's something that is beyond our capabilities to fix. But we are in this game for long haul, and we hope that eventually with more translations, more English versions of the events, we will be able to cover more and make things more unbiased.
Okay, that's good. So I just want to make sure that I'm not missing anybody. You answered Rashput. The next question is from Peter. Hello guys, thank you for what you do. I have one suggestion, please. Could you add into the videos or descriptions the sources that is the episode, so we can more the topic?
So that's on me. So let me answer really quickly. The problem is I don't know if you guys notice it, but YouTube likes demonetizing stuff, and with trial and error we learned that there are certain words that are monetized more than the others. And because of that, we really need to keep our descriptions, our tags, etc. really clean. So I think that I'll start doing it in our pinned comments from now on, because that's the best way to keep the video from being demonetized. So yeah, but that's a really good suggestion. I have to do that. It's on me.
Yeah. We need to do that. But a great suggestion, Peter. I think having all the sources in the description helps people to go back and read more on the topic if they're interested to learn more. Okay, Rashput last battle was Battle Haifa in Israel. Okay.
I didn't know that. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, so but if we're gonna research the Rashput, I think we'll know that. Bozorg Meher, will we make a video about Iran-Iraq war, Iraq-Iran war? I assume something like the Korean War episode. I've been waiting so long for this.
Should I answer this one?
Yeah, you can.
I really don't want to be offensive about it, but I researched.
Don't lean back. You're going out of focus.
Can I be offensive?
No, you cannot be offensive.
Okay, I can't be offensive and I can't lean back. Okay,
Right.
my free speech is blah blah blah. So yeah, the problem with the Iran-Iraq war, and I have researched it extensively because both of my parents are historians, and they're historians. One of them is focused on Iran, and one of them is focused on Iraq. So I know quite a bit about the region and the wars there, but the thing about this particular war is it was really slow, kind of reminding of the First World War. So there's not much happening. So I guess we will cover it, but it's not a priority right now.
I think we should cover it, even it's slow, just to show. You know, I think it lasted 8 years, right? I think in 8 years something interesting happened.
So probably the best idea is to do some kind of collaboration with our sister channel Cold War.
Yeah.
So basically political and military episodes
because
together.
Lots of politics involved.
Yeah.
I remember because it was Iran, it was after the revolution, right after that, you know, the Iraq saw the power vacuum and tried to attack. Yeah, I think we can do that. It wouldn't be that extensive as Korean War or the Vietnam that we're planning to do. It's gonna be shorter, but I hope, you know, we can give justice with you know, starting with Iranian Revolution. And
then there's another small problem of, not small, big problem of demonetization. The closer you get to our times, the more videos you get demonetized, basically. So you can talk about blood and corpses during the Roman times however you want, but as soon as you hit 1941, basically, everything becomes controversial in the eyes of YouTube, obviously. And the chance of you getting demonetized is very high. So for us, it's basically a big risk to do that. But we are planning to do it eventually.
Absolutely, yeah. And we suffer quite a lot from the modern warfare videos because most of them get demonetized immediately, and we try really hard to talk to YouTube, explain this is educational content and things like that. But you won't see us to complain about it because if you want, I can touch base on demonetization stuff because I disagree with some of the channel that complain a lot. Okay.
So there's things about to complain about, but not all complaints are, let's say, correct.
Yeah, but we can talk about that, guys. If you're interested, just let me know in the comment section. Okay, so Ekmal says that Narusan was a Siamese king from the 15th century. Okay, we'll check and let you know. And if we're gonna do the Siamese video, it's gonna be the August. August is our animator. He just said hi, guys. Hello, August.
Yeah, it was.
It's really nice to see you here. And the Malaya Archer answers. Okay, so Crazy Van CND. Crazy Ivan. What's the biggest thing you've learned from making this video series? What's the biggest thing you're looking for?
Biggest thing? I think the fact that my wife loves me despite the fact that I spend so much time in the office, probably.
Okay, I think the question should be what's the biggest historical thing. But what's the biggest historical thing?
Biggest historical thing. There's always at least a few ways to tell the story. There's a way to tell the story to be sensational, and we can do that. We can be as controversial as possible, but true learning of history comes from the place where there is no passion, there is no hard feelings or hatred or love or bias. You just focus on what is known, and you try to give as impassioned a narration that is impassioned and calm. Basically, that's what I learned. And some of our older videos, they had some problem with the bias because I guess sometimes I allow my emotions to rule me, but I think that the more videos we do, the more unbiased we become.
Yeah, like some of our older videos, Last Navas de Tolosa, and that stuff. It's a little bit biased. Okay, and for me, everything is there. I'm no historian. I just make videos, and for me, basically everything is the biggest historical thing that I'm learning all the time, 100%. Like I didn't know that Adolphus died in Lutzen. Like I learned that, and that was devastating, to be honest. Okay, the next question is Samuel Moore. Any plans to collaborate with other history strategy channels such as Boss Battles or Armchair Historian? So we had this bad taste in the beginning of when we start doing these videos. We tried to collaborate with one of the biggest one. It was quite a big channel back then. So we kind of did our end. So we agreed on certain terms that we're gonna release the episodes. It's gonna be two-parted. We will release one in our channel, give link to another video on his channel. But that person, I don't want to give any channel name. He deceived us. Basically, he lied to us, and he never kept his end of the bargain. So we had this bad taste, and for the historical content, I think if two channels want to collaborate, they need to bring two different things, kind of to complete each other. If you check with the Boss Battles, we do lots of things similarly. So I don't know what I like. Epic History TV, we do lots of things similarly. Armchair Historian may be a good idea, but he's mainly focused on the modern warfare stuff. And we prefer the 3D animations instead of the 2D illustrations for the battles and things like that. I don't know, like if there is a good candidate that we will do the collaboration. Like we don't mind at all. But yeah, in the beginning of the channel, a few people kind of lied to us, and we had this bad taste. Therefore, we kind of promised ourselves that we'll just do everything ourselves, and we won't rely to other people. But if there is anybody that we think that our style and their style will fit well, we will do that.
The problem with collaborations is something that many, let's say, people who are not creating videos, they do not know. You are often approached for collaboration, but the person who is approaching you doesn't have any idea what they want to do. So there should be some kind of plan in place when you are approaching someone for collaboration, basically.
Yeah, because we see email coming to our let's make a video together. Okay, what kind of video? What do you want from us? How we want, it should be the clear structure, and the two two parties should complete each other in that video,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so next question is also Akmal. You should make more and more videos on Southeast Asia history. I completely agree. Both modern and pre-modern. You should make videos on the Malacca Sultanate, Srivaja Empire, and Padri. Yeah, of course. Like as I mentioned previously, not only kings and generals, but I think everybody on YouTube who's doing the historical content, they should pay more attention to that region, and not only Southeast Asia, also the Africa, the Latin America, North America, that we're trying to cover a little bit of the North America with the Tecumseh. So I completely agree. We should pay more attention to the events that happen outside of Europe. That's no-brainer. Okay, Matthew, how much do you love me, Ilkin and Ulan, of course. So we actually, I think you weren't here. We actually mentioned, we spoke highly about you. We love you a lot. You're one of the driving forces in Kings and Generals with all the research, with all the scripts that you write. So we love you a lot, and we love you. We love Oguz, we love Malai, we love anybody else, from the Kings and Generals team on the stream. Bozorgig Mansur, well, honestly, I did not know that YouTube creates so many problems for you. Yeah, YouTube creates tons of problems for us, especially with the modern warfare. Sometimes you cannot appeal, like on the Cold War channel, every single video gets demonetized. Every single video. There is no video that you upload and it's all good. You have that green $sign. No. You have to appeal. You have to talk to YouTube 100% of the time. Explain that this is historical content. Make sure that they understand. Because I think in the Cold War, we use like the words like the war, battle, conflict, death, revolution, and things like that. And YouTube doesn't like that. On Kings and Generals side, it's a little bit easier, but also it's problematic, like the Korean War, even Gallipoli, like something weird happened with Gallipoli. Once we upload it, you cannot do anything. You cannot appeal it's demonetized. You cannot appeal. I spent I think 2-3 hours on the phone with a person that we work on the YouTube side to explain the situation. They took it to the support. There was a lots of problem with the modern warfare, and also there are some problem, like we have lots of videos like demonetized. Like the good example is the Damascus, siege of Damascus. And when I say demonetized, it's not about money. Like I just want to be clear about that. It is about once video is demonetized, YouTube stops suggesting it. So you won't see it in your the browsing page. You won't see that as a suggested video homepage. You basically need to search that video. Only then you will see that video. And for us not getting views, it's not about money, because we released 8 to 10 videos a month. If two of them are demonetized, it's probably fine. But not getting views, it's kind of devastating for all of us, for Matt who writes the script, for Oguz who creates.
Because Matt hasn't reached 1 million views yet, and he's really devastated about it.
He's really mad about it. So it creates lots of problems. I don't know, and when we create videos, we should be mindful about that and make sure that we are not, including any controversial stuff there. And by the time YouTube kind of tightens their policy a little bit, like 2 years ago, a year ago even, it was different environment. Like you could upload things and you're gonna be fine. And to be honest, like the ones, if we're talking about the demonetization, I don't blame YouTube too much because it is advertiser who put ads to the video. Like none of the brands want to be associated with the blood, with the battle, with conflict and things like that. All of them want family-friendly content where they can put their stuff, they put ads. And YouTube kind of try to reinforce that, and I understand that. I understand why it's happening, but at the same time, I would expect you to be a little bit more clear about what is monetized, what is demonetized, why if the video gets demonetized, why it's like what's the scene, why you're demonetized, like what's the word, right? So YouTube doesn't tell you that, but at the same time, I understand why YouTube doesn't do that. YouTube may tell that, I'm demonetizing this because of the word revolution, and you can take it back. You say, why you're demonetizing this? So I kind of understand why YouTube does this, but so there are lots of moving things here. It's really hard. Like it's not a simple question to answer why videos get demonetized and how to fix that. Okay. Kelfuma asks, will you ever visit ancient battle sites and give a visual tour guide? We actually dream about that. We actually dream that if we can create a proper documentary, like the Netflix style or whatever style, because right now we a little bit more experience with the camera work. We do the Cold War thing. Actually, in 2 weeks, we are going to Ottawa. We have a Cold War museum there called the Dieffen Bunker. It is the bunker that built for the Canadian government in 50s. So they kept it, and it's as museum. You have rooms, you have control rooms and things like that. We're gonna do the visit there, and we'll start from that. But answering your question, if we can, we will definitely do that. Like if we're talking about the Battle of, Verdun, we'll try to go to Verdun. Sometimes I actually envy the historians or the YouTube channels that located in Europe, because it's so easy for them. The closest thing that we can get here is Ottawa, and it's 4 hours drive. Yeah. I was talking to the guy, the Smarter Everyday, Destin. Yeah. He has a big channel, has around 7 million subscribers. He told me that they have a V2 rockets. I don't know if you guys watched the Operation Paperclip on the Cold War channel. He invited us to go there, but it's really expensive to get like that, to get from point A to point B in North America. We would try to do that, and we'll try to create a full-length documentary starting next year. We need a little bit more funding. We need to save some money for that. That is the ultimate goal, to have this full-length, like the documentary with talking to professor, historians, go to the place, film it, do some animations, because we have resources for that. We have historians, we have animators, we have camera work. So I think we have all the recipe to make this successful, and we'll try to do that. All right. Crazy Ivan CND. U.S. Civil War seems to be big.
I think you missed someone.
No, I answered the Kelfuma. Yes. It's August.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Sorry.
August doesn't ask any question.
Civil War.
So we have that series planned. I think the script's mostly ready.
Yep.
It's gonna be the 6 episodes, 6 or 5. It was 5. We extended to 6. They're mostly ready. We're waiting some of our ongoing series to finish. And we'll start that immediately, probably right after the Mongols. We'll do that before the Caesar season 2 or the Napoleon season 3. We really want to do that, because when we did the Shiloh, we didn't expect that that video will get that much views. I think that is one of the, lots of people focus on the Revolution War. The Civil War is really, really fascinating and interesting, and we'll even try to cover the Battle of the Schrute Farms. I don't know if you get the reference, but
the problem with events like US Civil War is that it's basically well researched, obviously, and there are like bunch of TV documentaries on that. So it's a bit more difficult to do in order to have the same quality, basically. And there are limitations of YouTube, and the biggest limitation of YouTube is that if you pound the same topic too much, you stop getting views. So you need to find the balance between quality and the length. And in my opinion, 5 or 6 episodes are not nearly enough. But I know that more than that, YouTube just stops suggesting it to the people, and you start losing views. And if you lose views, you basically do it for nothing. So that's a thing. You need to have a balance between quality and between YouTube's limitations.
Okay. Next question is also from Bozorg Meher. Who's your favorite king, queen, monarch, leader throughout the history, and why?
Me?
Yeah.
Why me?
You're a historian.
Probably right now we just finished one of the episodes of the 30 Years War, so right now it's Richelieu. I grew up reading Alexandre Dumas, the French author, and if you remember his Three Musketeers, Richelieu is the villain in the story. But growing up, I started to understand that the real villains are actually the Musketeers, and Richelieu is actually trying to save France, to make it more powerful, etc., etc. So right now, in my current 30 years war mood, I'm saying Richelieu.
For me, it's probably Alexander. It's cliche, but it's fascinating how much he achieved in such a young age. Like, I can't even remember myself in that age. Just it's fascinating. Like, I could barely keep up with my stuff in that age. He literally conquered half of the world, and known world. Obviously, for 5 years, like 5 freaking years. How amazing that is! Like, and I was fascinated by one of his battles. It was the Siege of Tyre. That's probably the most interesting battle to me. Like, you have to have guts, to build the kind of the bridge from land to the city that's in the middle of the sea. To attack it, just move on. Why are you so concerned about that city? It was fascinating. Like, and I actually named my son after Alexander. Okay, so Sonfam, if you want to collaborate, I should propose a clear video idea, plan, what I can help and what I need, and sounds good and doable, then we proceed. Absolutely. Just send to our email, info@kingsandgenerals.net. We'll review it and we'll get back to you. We love you too, guys. I love you, August. Guys who are watching this, it's probably not known, but you can allow 2 of the greatest guys to work for an extent that is not even work. I thank you, Matt. I really appreciate. But for us, it's also not work. If you do things that you love, it's no longer work. You just enjoy doing that. Like, sometimes I forget the time. I start working on the video, and I realize that I've been sitting for 10 hours straight.
Long days and long nights, but it's fun.
It is fun. I cannot complain. Like, I cannot be more grateful what we have now. We just create videos. We talk to the amazing people. We work with amazing people like August, Malai, Archer, like Matt, like Leo, like David. There are lots of people that we work together.
Devin is really cool to work with. Absolutely. There are some new guys joined us recently. It is amazing, and I cannot be grateful. It's just dream work. Rena Melikova asks, do you have any plans to do more fantasy wars like Game of Thrones or Star Wars? Actually, we're planning to do I think that the Amazon is going to do the Lord of the Rings sometime next year. Amazon is going to do Wheel of Time, he was going to say.
But not Lord of the Rings?
Both, but Wheel of Time is more important. So.
I like Lord of the Rings more.
Okay, so that's...
So yeah, if there is any... we know that you guys don't like the fantasy battles. We saw that once when we did.
Some people do like them.
Like the majority doesn't like. Let me put it this way. Like the 80% doesn't like. And actually, we lost some patrons because of that. Like, when you actually unsubscribe from the Patreon, you can put the
you can say why don't you like us
survey. And I saw a few comments saying that, hey, I'm supporting you guys because of the history, and I'm not interested in the
The thing is about YouTube, we are trying to be as professional as possible, obviously, and our work has clear framework. We have clear ways of managing things, etc. But one good thing about YouTube is that you always want to do what you love, and at that point in time, both me and Nuland, we were probably too fascinated with Game of Thrones. So not making videos on Game of Thrones was really difficult to do. We wanted to do that, and sometimes if you want to do something, it's a creative process. You need to do that to get it out of your system, basically.
Yeah, like and some of the events in Game of Thrones were quite fascinating. Like not the first battles where you have dragons and just
But
just
the next battle,
demolish everything. But the next battle were fairly interesting. I enjoyed the
and
tactics.
historical pilots are interesting, etc.
Yeah, but I also understand why some people are not interested in that, because not everybody's watching. Like we kind of automatically assume that everybody's watching those things that we're passionate about, but that may not be true, right? So I kind of get it. Ghost Bear, like Crazy Ivan, I'd love to see some American. It's coming. American Civil War is coming. I don't know how it will be. Like I think it's a little bit controversial in this climate, a little bit. But we will be as unbiased as possible and cover the story and let you know. Can we have Devin here? Actually, Devin has his own channel.
Instead of us, you mean, guys? So we should go and Devin should come instead of us?
Yeah, probably. Devin, actually the great guy. I remember when we were a small channel, I spent a lot of time to convince him to work with us. Probably, I don't know, a few weeks, because we had 5,000 subscribers and it wasn't the selling point. I spent lots of time to convince him to work with us, and with Devin, he's focused on his own projects and he just narrates for us, and he basically takes no part in the team decision and channel decision and things like that,
which we respect, obviously.
Of course, you don't have to be, you don't have to work with us if you don't want to, but he's great. Like, he's been voice of the channel and he continues being voice of the channel,
and he's super professional.
We love him, but he kind of distanced himself with the channel. He just prefers to be the voice only,
and that's good.
I don't mind, like, if he prefers to do that, absolutely. And but if you guys want to see him here, we can invite for one of the next streams. That's no problem. Matu Sudan asks, I can help anytime for historical content related to India, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal region. That's going to be amazing. Yeah, sure. Like send your resume or I don't know, name to our email address.
And if
we will keep in mind, because sometimes we need, like, if even after the researching the topic, we need to confirm, or they get another source to confirm the things that we already have. That can be the great help. Okay, Sonfam, can we have the... Okay, so I answered that. Ekmal Sukarno asks, the Padri War was a conflict in Sumatra fought between Islamic purists and the Islamic syncretist and Dutch who wanted to close Sumatra on the side of the sun. Yeah, we don't know much about these conflicts. Let me actually write it down. Padri War. So King Nerusan, Rajput warriors, Padri War. Could be interesting. Let's see.
I heard about Muslim syncretists.
Yes.
That's an interesting topic in itself, because there is this perception of Islam that it's very set in stone. But even in Middle East, cults like Sufis and etc., they were really syncretic with the local religion. So it's a fascinating topic that we should research.
Okay, so Ekmal, again, another comment about the Padri War. I will skip this. Okay, so Matt left the chat. That's fine. Afrobeards. It could be cool if you guys reach to the decline of the Golden Horde in Mongol series to tie with the rise of... Yeah, actually we're planning Russian series.
Yeah.
5-6 episodes, probably.
5-6?
Yeah.
No.
More than that?
If we do Russian series, it will be like Ottoman series.
Oh my god.
So that's what I want, obviously. What we will decide, that's different. But my idea is that we need to reach the end of the Golden Horde.
Actually, we're gonna do that with Mongols, right?
Yes, with the second season of Mongols, it will be like 9 or 10 episodes, the second season. And after we are done with the Golden Horde, we'll jump to the Prince of Muscovy and the Tsardom of Muscovy, and that will be the start of our Russian series, I think, because I really don't want to start with the events prior to that. In my opinion, they are not as interesting, but we'll see. Maybe there is a demand for that, and we'll do a longer series and start with like something in the 9th century with the formation of early Rus princedoms. We'll see.
Okay, Bozorgmek asks, speaking of Ottomans, will we see more Ottoman Safavid wars?
Yes, we will.
Of course.
The problem is the way the series is going right now. It's really difficult to jump between the points. We basically covered Chalderan in 1514, and we talked about the wars after that, but we didn't do enough. There will be at least one episode to cover most of Ottoman Safavids war before Shah Abbas and Nadir Shah. And then there will be an episode on Shah Abbas and an episode on Nadir Shah, at least one episode, maybe 2, 3 or 4.
I think it should be multiple. Like, I think it can be like we had
3 or 4 episodes, I think.
We talk about that. I think we had the idea for 3 episodes at least.
Yeah.
I think one of them was Battle of Karnal.
Karnal.
Yeah.
It's in India, so yes.
It's
basically Nadir Shah is an interesting figure in Iranian history who will unite Ottomans and India into one series, and that's a very fascinating thing, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. Ghostbear says that also, I'm pretty sure my wife is angry at your channel every time I watch one. I buy a new house miniature to clean. Sorry about that. We don't want to cause any financial damage, but there is nothing we can do about it.
The miniatures are really expensive. Have you seen the prices?
I've seen the price, but it's fascinating. You just wear that thing and paint it.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
It's good for your mood, basically.
Game Night 999 as Battle of Shrut Farms was the most northern battle in the Civil War. I agree. Can't agree more.
Is it office joke?
It is office joke, yes.
Can you guys stop?
No, because it's funny. And another question also, do you guys have any plans for the American Revolution? Probably. Maybe after the Civil War, we'll see how it goes.
So right now, the idea is to do Civil War, then maybe 7 Years' War, and 7 Years' War is really easy to tie to the Revolutionary War, and that's a good way to go. Initially, we had plans for American series the way we had plans for Ottoman series, but I don't know if it's feasible right now. But we'll look into that.
We'll look like guys. We're here for a long haul, and with the history, you will never run out of topics, right? So there are lots of interesting stuff that you need to cover. You can cover, so we're gonna cover probably most of them. I cannot tell all of them because it's impossible.
We'll do our best to cover everything possible.
Everything possible. Yeah, I think that's a good way to put. Okay, August. Yeah, it's a great fun. I can't have some beer with you. We'll have some beer, but I heard August in Turkey there are laws that you cannot drink in your car. You cannot smoke in your car. There is a huge fines if you smoke in your car. I don't know what's happening. Yeah, like 2 years ago when I was in Istanbul, I ordered the fish, the sea bass, levrek they call it. So it was 15 liras, and the beer, like it's like fish like this big, and the beer was 35 liras, like almost twice more than the whole fish, like the 300 milliliters. It was crazy, like how expensive alcohol is in there. But Oguz, it's not a problem. I promise. Once I'm in Turkey, I will meet you, and we can go for drinks, maybe for raki.
For belly dancing.
Belly dancing.
Belly dancing.
Belly dancing.
Belly dancing.
Okay. All right, Ekmos Akarna, you should also make on video Dipenogo, who was a Giovanni. So Ekmal, you are making lots of suggestions. So if you can send email with all, like I cannot literally capture all of this. If you can send the email with all these suggestions, we'll look into this and we'll pick a few topics that we can work in the future. But the Padri War, as you mentioned, seems fascinating, but we need to check it, okay? Is there any requirement to have a good beard to be able to work with it? Yeah, that's number one requirement. If you don't have beard, you are not part of the team. Some people are so young in our team that they cannot grow beards at this moment, which is a shame. We have a guy who is
why are you like that?
Working Arab-Israel wars. He's 16, and I actually had to talk to his father, not to him, because he's too young. He actually in 2 weeks, you will see video like he did the first Arab-Israeli war. He does the 3D animations, and you will see the Yom Kippur War coming in 2 weeks.
Yep.
So yeah, he's a little bit young to have a beard, but yeah, in general, that's the once he can grow a beard.
That's not epic beard. My epic beard was I was forced to shave it because I had stuff to do, but eventually you will see the Gandalf beard from me, and that will be epic.
Yeah, Gandalf beard. I cannot imagine you with a Gandalf beard.
So we are coming to the most difficult question ever, as usual.
Yeah,
Can I answer that?
Didgori.
Should you answer that?
No, you answer.
So there is a problem, and I will try to be as direct about it as possible. I have read about Battle of Didgori many times, but most of the things that I have read were directly from the Georgian sources, and also many of the events can be confirmed. Not all of them can be confirmed, and there is a problem with the fact that Didgori is really important for Georgia, and it's really important for the Caucasus region. We are from Azerbaijan, so we obviously know about this battle. But right now, I don't feel that I have enough sources to make a coherent narration about it. But it's something that I do constantly, so I have a big file with Didgori. There is like 20 pages, 30 pages already. That's different versions of the events, different things that I try to confirm using Turkish, Middle Eastern, and Frankish sources. Eventually there will be Didgori, but I am not promising anything right now on time because I don't want to promise and then not deliver. But eventually there will be a Battle of Didgori. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's really hard to research. We worked with a few historians on this topic. It's really confirmed events, and it's half mythical, half legendary battle with 10,000 people against 400,000 people.
It's not the numbers, but in general, it is
really hard to confirm those numbers. But yeah, it's on the list.
But as I said, there is a problem with historical sources. Obviously, it's not only a problem with Didgori; it's a problem with many battles. But as we said, we will try to cover as much as possible down the line. So Didgori is something that we are planning to do.
Okay, next question. So no, actually, Afrobeard said I love the Blackfire Rebellion video. Yeah, those videos performed poorly, unfortunately. Although August put lots of time, effort, energy, passion into those projects. I personally did, Ilkin did, Matt did. But unfortunately, when you're so passionate, when you spend so much effort and see that that video doesn't get any views, it's devastating for us, to be honest. Ekmal Sukarno, another, do you plan making video Malacca Sultanate? Yeah, probably. Why not? Mr. Monster, any future long-term projects like the Cold War, or do you have enough on your plate as is? We have enough on our plate, but we never stop exploring new ways of telling stories. Sorry?
Dreaming.
Yeah, we may launch another channel in 2 years. We're not sure about that. I'm not gonna tell you any details. But yeah, we want to cover as much as possible. We want to have the diverse way of telling the story, not only through animations, also like in Cold War, or maybe some other format. But yeah, we always think about the new ways of maybe starting the channel or telling the new story or having the different kind of documentaries and things like that. So we never run out of the ideas. But to be honest with you, I'm gonna tell this right now, and because this is the closed group, informal closed group. So the Cold War channel is actually very expensive to make. And actually, it is. We spent a lot of money on that channel, to be honest. But again, even today, it is losing money for us. And actually, Kings and Generals helps to kind of back it up a little bit. We spent a lot of money on that channel, but still, we're not getting anything. We cannot even make. It's just keep losing money. Oops, sorry.
You got upset.
I got upset because it's really devastating. I learned so much because of you cover
Michael
cultures.
Harold.
Michael Harold. Sorry, I didn't mention the name. I'm still upset about Cold War.
It will be good. It will be fine.
I have learned so much because you cover, like, even we thought about to stop the channel, to be honest, at some point, but we still can continue. I think we'll continue until the end of the year
We'll
and decide,
persevere.
and decide if we want to proceed or not, because it's really hard. I have learned so much because of your cover culture, civilization, and battles not commonly covered in history classes. What that big motivation for you to bring a diverse world history to viewers? Maybe I can start and you can pick it up.
You can start.
I think for us, we know that history audience is small, and we know that not everybody is interested in the same kind of history. Not everybody is interested in the battles. Not everybody is interested in the, let's say, in Roman history or the ancient Greece. And we try to tell the story as diverse as possible. We try to cover the battles or the events that's not covered before. Also, we're trying to do the videos that covers the culture, like Ashoka, the leaders like Cochrane or Tecumseh, or the trade videos like the Roman Parthian trade or Roman China trade and videos like that.
These videos haven't come out yet.
They
so
will.
You are teasing, right?
They will, like the Roman African trade, because we understand that not everybody is interested in the same type of events or the same geography or same region. Therefore, our goal is to be as diverse as possible. And from our experience, we know that if you keep telling about the same events, about the same geography, or about the same the I don't know, nation or the battle or the war, people will start losing interest very quickly. So therefore you have to tell, and that is the reason why we have so many series ongoing at the same time.
For me, it's a bit different. I'm a big nerd, as some of you know from Discord probably. I want to learn new stuff. I want to be part of something new. So for me, it's like PC gaming, right? So I like strategies, obviously. Strategies are my favorite genre. But if you're stuck playing only strategies, you will kind of stop to grow, I guess. So you need to consider other genres. You need to consider our type of gaming, etc., etc. The same is for history. Military history is fun. Military history is something that is a good starting point for many lovers of history, but the more diverse you get, the better it is both for the channel and for the audience.
Okay, so next question, it's not a question, maybe a separate channel for fantasy battles, lore history. We don't it's really hard to start a new channel in this YouTube climate. To be honest, it requires lots of
getting it monetized.
It is
finding a new ways to talk to YouTube. It's really pain in the ass, basically.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna do that. Samuel Moore asks, any Byzantine series planned for next year?
Actually, there's a Byzantine series planned for next Sunday.
Yeah, next Sunday we'll have a Byzantine War, and it's gonna be interesting. Like right now, I'm working on that episode. It's interesting. It's gonna be interesting. So stay tuned.
I will drop the schedule tomorrow, so you guys will see.
Yeah, it is really interesting battle. Okay, but yeah, Byzantine Wars is something that we haven't covered enough, and we should be able to do that. Next year we'll start this year, but again, I hate starting new series without finishing the older ones. But we're gonna do that. No worries. August laughing. Probably that was laugh for my comment about beers and cigarettes. Okay. Bozorg Meher asks, in your opinion, what's the most crucial battle in ancient history? Okay. The most critical in Middle Ages and most critical in the modern age. Go.
So I should go?
Yeah.
So first of all, we need to start with the simple fact that what we consider ancient history and Middle Ages and modern time is really different between the historical schools, basically. So for instance, the early European historiography considered the end of the Western Roman Empire to be the end of the ancient world. More modern historians go 150 years forward, and for instance, there are many historians who consider the Battle of Yarmouk to be the point when the history of the ancient world ended and the history of medieval ages started. There are what we call Marxist historians. Marxist historians consider that the moment the Romans stopped using the slave labor as much as before, sometime in the late 4th and early 5th century, that was the point when the ancient world ended and we went to medieval. But in short, if you ask my opinion, I will try to generalize it. For ancient world, the most important battle was... What do you think?
I think it's
Ancient world-
Yarmouk, probably.
Yarmouk? Yarmouk is really important in terms of the change in the region, right?
Yeah, changing the region, the things coming after that. You know, imagine Arabs lost the Yarmouk. Like,
It will be
what
so
kind
much
of
different.
world you will-
It will be so much different, right?
yeah, it's gonna be completely different. Like I'm thinking right now, like Arabs lost, and you know they cannot expand. You still have, Sasanians. You have
We
Byzantine.
don't need to make what-if scenarios, but
Yeah.
it would be so much different.
It's completely different. Like very different than what we have today. I think that is for me is Yarmouk. For the medieval, I think it's really hard to pick, but there are two events in the beginning, like the end of the. I think it's the fall of the Constantinople. I can say that's one of the important. The Leipzig from Napoleon Wars, to me is
Okay, that's basically the point. Napoleon lost his war.
lost everything basically. The Leipzig and from the modern warfare, there are so many important battles. Stalingrad can be seen as one of the crucial ones. So what else?
I had a teacher back in the university. He was specializing on the history of the Mongols, and for him, the place the medieval ended and early modern era started was the Mongol invasions. I know that it's really unorthodox to think that, but in his opinion, that was the moment basically Europe and Asia became one once again. It was never a united continent before. When the Mongols invaded Eastern Europe, it became one region. So there are many opinions, and I can obviously entertain all of them.
Right. So yeah, probably from the modern,
Stalingrad, maybe.
Stalingrad, I think it's pretty important.
Russian Revolution, maybe in entirety.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are lots of things, and it's really hard to pick one. You know, there are lots of important things. Okay. Ekmal says that. So let me make sure that I'm not missing anything. Ekmal says that our email address. I sent our email address. Brewers Packers 9. If you didn't know, Roman trade with Indian was great for the Polish. I don't know.
Everything is good for the Polish. Because Poland can into space, I guess. Is that the line?
Matt Anderson asks, any time frame for the Schleswig War? As a Dane, I'm looking forward to it.
So
we kind of touched base on that.
We kind of touched it in the Königsberg video. The thing is,
I like how it sounds, Schleswig.
Basically, so the idea right now is to eventually start a series on the European wars of independence and reunifications. So 3-4 episodes on the German unification, 3-4 episodes on the Italian, etc., etc. That's a plan, and I think that we'll have at least one, maybe 2 or 3, maybe 2 episodes on Schleswig War. But when will that will happen, I don't know. I don't want to spoil anything, but I think I haven't been told anything, so it's not official info. I just think that Paradox will release Victoria 3 sometime in 2020. It's my opinion. No one told me anything. I'm just saying. And when they release that, I think that it will be really good for us, for our channel, to give more background to the Victorian age, and so we will cover Schleswig War within that series in 2020, in my opinion. We'll see.
Yeah, because we really like to, because we have a gaming background, and we really want to tie if there's a new game like Imperator Rome to explain events, or it's I think they really complete each other. Brewer Spagger, so did you guys meet, and who thought the idea of the Kings and Generals yet? This is a really interesting question. So
It was me.
I was planning to shoot a video about history of the channel, but I can briefly, we had in 2016, May 2016, we had two channels. I had a channel called Nurik, and Ilkin had channel called Red Phoenix. So we were playing games, I was mainly playing games like Civilization, XCOM, RimWorld. Ilkin was mainly playing Total War, Europa Universalis. What else you were playing back then?
Hearts of Iron.
Hearts of Iron.
So much Hearts of Iron.
Yeah,
Too much Hearts of Iron.
Too much buttons in that game. So we were playing, we were releasing games, we had different schedule. I had around 35 subscribers, Ilkin had around 50 subscribers. And at some point we decided, and we're close friends, sometimes we play together and things like that. We decided to merge our channels, and that's if you check the earlier videos, it says Nurik and Phoenix. So we merged two channels, and we had the channel named Nurik and Phoenix.
So I wasn't red anymore, basically.
So he wasn't red. He dropped his color. So we start playing games. We start speculating about the videos. We start doing different things. And I think it was March 2017. Ilkin had this idea to do the historical videos like other channels, and there were lots of challenges inspired us. As usual, I'm pessimistic about everything. Ilkin extremely optimistic about everything. He said it's easy, I said it's impossible. But we kind of met somewhere in between.
Between easy and impossible.
Between easy and impossible, yeah. So we tried to do our best. We were really bad with the video editing. We were really bad with lots of things. We create a video that it's not watchable today, but they're still unlisted on the channel. If you guys are interested, I can give you the link if you want to see those very old videos.
Narrated by you.
Narrated by me, and you guys can clearly hear that narration is not my strongest point. I have this thick Russian accent, and people were annoyed with my accent. So the first video that we released, it was a Battle of Magnesia. It was released 2017 May 4th. Then we released some other videos like Battle of Grunwald, Battle of what else we released? Battle of Doroleum. There was a Mithridatic War, Cimbrian War. But we saw that we're not getting views, nobody's interested, people hate those videos. We kind of paused and reevaluate what we're doing and relaunch the channel. And the first video after that was a Byzantine-Sasanian War, and after that you see the channel as you know today. So idea was Ilkin's, and we worked together to kind of make it good. So that's how we started. All right. Yeah, more Roman trade, Raphael, and wasn't able to type till now. I'm sorry. Is it something about YouTube? Is it something we need to do?
No, it's fine.
Or maybe you didn't have time. I don't get that. Alfred, do you play shooters games like Counter-Strike, Call of Duty? I play a lot of Counter-Strike when I'm tired. I used to be DMG, Distinguished Master Guardian. I couldn't go above DMG. Right now I am Gold Nova 4. I dropped a lot because I don't have time all the time to play. But when I'm tired, when I'm brain dead, I usually go and shoot some bots.
And you name bots after me.
Yeah, if I'm annoyed with Ilkin, I name bots called Ilkin and go and shoot them.
And I play Apex.
Yeah, and Ilkin plays Apex. So
I'm Gold 4 right now.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. Probably it's good.
It's not good.
Not good?
Not.
Okay.
I'm really bad.
All right. So you guys looking forward to Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord? Of course we do.
Mountain Blade 1 was one of my favorite games back in the day. I remember how many classes in university I missed because of that game. So I think that I will miss much more with Mountain Blade 2. It looks awesome. I participated in the beta, and the beta was really good. I feel that it will be a complete time sink. It will kill everything, but I will play the hell out of it.
Yeah. So I apologize. I missed one of the question from Crazy Ivan. So if you guys shut down the Cold War channel, who's going to tell David? It's probably gonna be me.
Yeah, because I'm really bad with talking to people, basically.
I usually make those tough calls.
When something bad should be said, it's Nuland. So if you guys are, if you don't want to get a bad news, ignore him. So that's a good strategy.
I usually will deal with those kind of things. Please tell me your historical waifu or husbando. I don't know what this
So
means.
you have no idea what anime is, right?
I am so far I know that it's Japan thing.
So
Because
waifu,
yesterday when we were recording the Cold War video about the Japan, it was
he
something
said
about
something about. So
anime.
waifu and husbando is the Japanese versions of the word wife and husband,
Okay.
basically. So who is your wife and husband in the history, basically? That's the
Okay,
question.
so who is your wife and husband in this thing?
So wife, it will be probably someone like Eleanor of Aquitaine.
Oh, interesting.
Not because I think that I want to get cooked. That's not it. It's just she's a really fascinating character. And husbando.
Husbando.
That's a really difficult one. I have never thought about that.
Henry,
Anywho.
the seventh, eight, that who killed his wife.
Okay, let's go with him.
That's funny. Okay, so Gio says that a lot of historical events are based on mythical sources, even battles. Nothing different with the Tagore battle, except it really happened. Okay, I'm not saying that it never happened. It just we need to as
we need
a
more sources. That's it.
History channel, we need to back things up with the sources. So we'll opportunity to find the most correct. Yeah, we really hope that we can find the most correct source and work on that. Ghost Bear says perhaps a series on the revolution of 1848.
That's in general. I have this idea about covering the histories of revolutions.
Like Dan,
Not Dan Carlin.
what's it called? Mike
Duncan.
Duncan.
Not in this format, obviously, but in more battle format. So eventually we'll do that. But when, again, I don't know. 2020 is a good answer for every question.
Yeah, late 19th century is a mess in Europe. Like lots of things happen. Like Balkans
We will
revolt.
cover it all. Just believe us.
Yes, strategy games are best. I agree with you, Gio. Strategy games is best. But when you brain dead, go and play shooters. It's really good too. Okay. Akmal, just out of interest, do you have any Southeast Asian historical topics on your schedule? Like we have one in Cold War channel. We covered the history of the Indonesia after the World War II. We recently did the Malay emergency in Cold War channel.
We're planning in our Mongol series.
We have in Mongol
Invasion
series.
of Burma, one episode, and one episode on
Java.
Invasion of Java. So there's quite a bit, but
It's not enough.
it's never enough.
But yeah,
So, yeah.
but right now that's what we have in our schedule. So Burma is gonna be in 3 weeks after Yom Kippur, if I'm not mistaken.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay, Brewers Packers, 2 battles in the modern era was influential was the Battle of Verdun and the Somme for importance of the World War One, and how it helped allies after a long time. Yeah, like those battles were really.
It's just difficult to pin anything on the during the Great War, because there's continuous battles in this Western theater. Each of them is important. Each of them was a bloodshed, but it's really difficult to pinpoint one of them.
Okay, so Raphael says actually it was actually him. He was busy. Okay, I'm glad that it's not us. Give us link to your old channel. Меня не будет раздражать русский акцент.
So Gio says that the Russian accent is
won't be-
not annoying for him.
Yeah, he won't be annoyed like that. So
That's good.
he won't be annoyed with.
We'll drop the link.
Actually, right now we have one of the videos that I am narrating. It was a top 10
Battle tactics?
Battle tactics. I think it's narrated by me.
Yes, it is.
And you can watch that video. yeah, like you can clearly hear my accent. Before Devin, we had this guy, Commissar Bro. He was narrating, I think, first 3-4
It
videos.
wasn't bad, but he had American accent, and American accent doesn't do it for me like British accent, basically.
It wasn't about him being bad. He wasn't
Committed?
reliable.
Okay.
Like you can, like we have schedule. We have to release every Saturday, right? And it's around Thursday. You have to go and chase him to get narration. It was really, really bad. But yeah, Gio. So we can go. Вы можете пойти посмотреть эти видео.
You can drop the link somewhere.
Okay. And then came Devin, absolutely. Then came, but again, I don't know if you hear from the beginning of the stream, I spent a lot of time to convince Devin to work with us. Bruce Packer's wife for Ada Lovelace, husbando Teddy Roosevelt. Okay, that's a good choice too. Bozorg Meher, what historical event would you undo if you could travel to the past?
So I want to answer that. It will be a bit of a no answer. We all talk about the destruction of the Alexandrian library, right? And that's a big loss for the humanity in general.
After Ain Jalut, right?
No, after.
Oh, not Alexandria.
Alexandria library.
Sorry, I thought about Baghdad.
Apparently, in the last 10 years, some Roman documents were unearthed, and apparently Roman administration stopped financing the library sometime during the crisis of the third century. I mean, so most of the things about the history that we consider tragic, they almost always have some kind of underlying factor that is not accounted for. In this case, what would I undo?
What would you undo? I wouldn't undo anything, to be honest.
You like where you sit right now?
Because it's history, right? You shouldn't be doing and undoing. Just tell what happened and try to learn from the past and try not to repeat the same mistakes in the future. That's my approach. Obviously, if we undo, we'll undo with the knowledge that we have today, right? But and we go back and undo it. But I don't think that's fair, and I don't think we should undo. There's a book about the butterfly effect.
Yeah,
something like that.
So
if you change something,
every time travel story is about the things that you change, but it never is what you want.
Exactly, you will never get the ideal thing. So, to me, instead of undoing, just learn from the past, and learn from the mistake, and try to be better. Try to not to repeat exactly the same mistakes. That's my take on this. Funksta, I really like this nickname. Funksta, huge fan. How do you meet the current narrator? What's your favorite time period? So I kind of was mentioning this. So in the beginning of the channel, it was 2017 August. I still have those emails. I was sending I sent email to Devin, say that, hey, I heard you, you have the beautiful channel and the voice. Can you work with us? Back then we had around 5,000 subscribers. He said, no, I'm busy with my projects, and we were obviously very small. But it took me a few emails, convince him. Obviously we're paying for every single word that he's pronouncing, that you're hearing. Every single word is paid. We agreed on a certain price, and we start paying him, and we increased. In the beginning, we had a very limited budget. I remember we spent around $200 on our maps that we were using, and it was a huge amount. We call it investment. Right now, we would call it expense. But because you had zero money coming at that time, and you have to make things work. So it took me a few takes to convince him, and actually he's not charging us per word, he's charging us per 100 words that he's pronouncing. It is not cheap, I would say, but we're really happy with Devin,
it's worth it.
And we're really glad that we have him on Kings and Generals channel, because he's a true professional. He has this beautiful voice, and it's not but for the documentaries, I think this is how we perceive documentary. Probably we watch too many BBC, I don't know, History Channel and things like that. I don't know. To me, if documentary is in British accent, it sounds a little bit more reliable to me. I know it's
It's
probably wrong, but it's how we perceive things.
I hear you.
Okay, Ekmal, do you also make videos on the history from the 20th century, or do you make videos history from the before? Like we have this cut point. Like we don't want to go like before. I hope Copinator is still watching us. He actually hold us. We previously said that we want to anything past World War II. But we kind of change our mind because with the trial and error, we learned how to animate the modern warfare. Right now, we're saying that we want to anything past 1991. But again, we may change our decision. And the reason for that is that some memories are so fresh, especially in the events that happened in 1991. And the events that happened in 1991 are pretty bloody and devastating for many people.
Still controversial.
And very controversial. You have, after 1991, like, there are a few accepted genocides, like with,
By accepted, you mean acknowledged?
Acknowledged, and I think accepted by UN or something like that. One of them is Holocaust, and the two of them happened after 1991. It's a Srebrenica and the Rwanda. So there are lots of bad things happen after 1991, and some memories are really, really fresh. So therefore, we'll try to avoid a little bit. But if we continue with the Cold War, we may see some extension, because Cold War, although we consider that it's end of the Cold War, 1991, Berlin Wall, 89, and things like that. But I think it kind of extended. There are lots of events happened in that, like even the Yugoslavia, the Gulf War. There are lots of things happened after that.
I think you missed one.
Missed what? So let's see.
Destruction of Baghdad. So destruction of Baghdad is a...
No, hold on. There is a huge fan, narrator.
Yeah, we had that one.
We had that one.
Underrated and overrated.
No, hold on. What's your favorite time period? That Tefungstar?
So for me, time period...
Roman Republic?
No, I probably like...
Don't go back all the way. You're out of focus.
Early medieval is interesting for me. Actually, it's one of the periods that I know less about in terms of the battle history, but I know more about it in terms of the, let's say, economic structure of the medieval world. So yeah, it's early Middle Ages. What's for you?
For me, it's ancient Greece, and it's not only battles of the ancient Greece. It is those ideas, the philosophers, scientists that we can call him today, people that try to had huge impact in events that happened after that, like this guy Anaximandros from Miletus. They start questioning things in different way.
Was he the guy who invented scientific method?
Yes, like he proposed the way how to probe things, how to do the observation. Then because before him it's really nothing. So yeah, I really like ancient Greece. Long story short, and then came Devin. Yes, most overrated and underrated battles in history. Battles, but you can pick one.
I kind of think that Persian invasion of Greece is overrated.
Okay.
In general, it's a bit. I'm not saying that it wasn't important, but it's overrated. So it is shown like a conflict of civilizations, and I feel like it's a bit too mythologized, especially in the European mindwork.
Probably, yeah.
And the most underrated for me is Grunwald. I was thinking about it the other day. So Grunwald basically checked the...
and we have that video, by the way,
yeah.
You can go and check that.
Grunwald basically checked the expansion of the German peoples into the Eastern Europe. That was the point where they were stopped, and for me, in terms of medieval history, it's essential, crucial battle.
Yeah, well, I agree with that. I can't like. I think to me maybe the siege of Vienna, the 1683, is a little bit more
Okay.
overrated. It's just that once civilization cannot take it, other city. I know that it stopped kind of expansion of the Ottomans, but you know, I think it's a little bit overrated, and you can see people asking about that battle all the time.
We'll cover it obviously.
We'll get there. I don't know when, but we'll eventually get there
Ottoman
because
series is really
Ottomans
slow.
yeah, it takes lots of time to get anywhere. But what is overrated? Yeah, probably. I think Alexander's conquest is a little bit overrated because it overshadows everything else that happened before and after, and it overshadows big way. I think that's a little bit overrated, but you know, I like Alexander. The destruction of Baghdad by Mongols was also devastating. I know when Ilkin said Alexandria, I for some reason I thought about the Baghdad
so again,
library.
It's Baghdad's library and Baghdad's House of Wisdom. It was called, I think. It was really important, but when you look the sources, when you look deeper in the sources, you see that at the moment when it was destroyed, it wasn't as important as it was like century or two ago. So basically, what was started in the 9th century, in the 8th, in the 8th century, by the time Mongols destroyed it, it wasn't as important. It wasn't crucial.
But
so
you
I
can,
understand what you are saying.
You can argue that it was important for Muslims. Like after that, you can see the completely different the line of the vector of the.
That's the thing. You say that, and I have seen it in the Muslim sources, but even the Muslim sources are forgetting about Cairo. By that moment when Baghdad was destroyed, Cairo was almost as important, both economically and as a cultural center. So never forget about Cairo.
Okay.
Don't forget about Cairo.
Never forget Cairo.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, but yeah, but I agree that it was really important. So, Ekmal also connected historical events and figures I suggested earlier, such as Malaka and I hope you include them in your schedule. Yes. Thank you, Ekmal, for great suggestions. Okay, Joe says, "Oh yeah, I've seen that video about 10 times. Battle tactics. Actually, I used your video in Total War Rome games.
Hope you won your battles."
Yeah. And we're thinking about that to expand in. We actually did the
one of them
oblique order.
Yeah, but it wasn't popular, unfortunately.
Yeah, we thought about expand every single tactic, but maybe we will at some point. Bruce Packer, the only thing I would undo was moving away to not get killed from friendly fire a couple of days ago. What? Friendly fire? Like, if you can expand on that a little bit, we can comment maybe because I
don't know the reference.
I was wondering, do you plan to introduce Azerbaijan thanks to a series? Azerbaijan thanks.
So we don't really want to concentrate on our country. We don't want to make it some kind of
make Azerbaijan great again.
Yeah, we don't want that. So
can I grab the water?
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, thank you.
So the history of Azerbaijan is really tied with the history of Iran, history of Russia, and history of Turkey.
Ottomans.
So when we talk about the Battle of Malazgirt, it's basically talking about the history of Azerbaijan. When we talk about when we talk about Chaldiran in the Ottoman series, we are talking about history of Azerbaijan. So we don't really want to make a thing out of it. Yeah, Otlukbeli doing the Akkoyunlu, also history of Azerbaijan. Basically, we don't want to make it a thing as a separate series because we want to be as unbiased as possible, and I don't know if that will be easy to do.
But at the same time, we're gonna touch, or we have already touched Azerbaijan history a lot, like with Otlukbeli, Chaldiran, in Nadir Shah. We're gonna cover the portion of it.
If we do Russian history,
If we do Russian history, we're gonna do like if we do the Russian Iranian war, Russian Persian war in the end of 19th century. It will cover. So with the things that we're doing, we touch base on lots of things, and like Azerbaijan may be part of it, but we're not gonna make separate standalone episode or standalone series on Azerbaijan, because there are lots of more interesting things happen outside of Azerbaijan. Tev Funkster said, as an American, I agree British accent is better. I'm not saying it's better. It's how it
sounds, basically.
Sounds or perceives by other people. I can tell you that, but it's not better, to be honest. Like when you're in UK, you absolutely hate it. Okay, Bruce Packer says Rwanda and genocide. Yeah, I agree, and it's so shameful that it happened in 1994. Recently, like I think more than 1 million. I think it's close to 2 million people died in that. And there's actually a good movie about that. It's Hotel Rwanda.
Yeah,
it's a really good movie if you want to learn, not to learn, but to understand the atmosphere, events that happening around that time. The Hotel Rwanda is really good movie. I remember I was really it was really devastating for me to see that movie. I was really upset after that movie, but it's a really good movie. I can recommend you that. Europe has seen so much war throughout history. It's a question from Afrobeards. Now enjoying the long peace. How long do you think it will last? And do you see Brexit as the beginning of the end of the European Union? So of course you can. You start.
So I don't want to make it political, because if I make it political, you will either love me too much or hate me too much, and I would prefer that you do neither of those. The thing is, what we call long peace in Europe, it's just basically the last
80 years, so 75, like
after the Second World War, and it's a bit of a misnomer because things are still happening in Ukraine.
If you don't count like Yugoslavia 1999, because there was a Srebrenica 95.
Basically, what you call long peace, it's basically Western and Northern Europe, right? Which is okay, but I don't know if it's a correct way to say it, but let's just consider that it's a correct way to say it. The thing is, we look at history from 100 years later, right? We can maybe find another period of peace like that. I'm not sure, but maybe there's a peace period of decades. But when you look at things from the height of the centuries, you don't perceive it like that, basically. So I wonder how our descendants will see this period. Will they look at it as a long peace period, or will they say that we destroyed the planet and made it unlivable for them, right? And I don't want to be too gloomy, but
I think you should be gloomy. You have every right to be gloomy.
But climate change is something that I feel anxious about, at least, and I don't want you to be upset or sad, but I feel that we all need to be anxious about it.
Yeah, like I just want to add that unfortunately we don't learn from mistakes that we made in the past.
We learn some of them, I guess, but no.
like majority, I would say. Unfortunately, and I think having another war is not too far away. With all these sentiments, with all these nationalistic things, with all this stupidity that rules some of the nation, it's unavoidable, unfortunately. But I hope I'm wrong. But I'm unlike Ilkin, I'm a little bit gloomy because we don't learn what happened, 70 years ago. Where you have all the footage, you have all the things, Just I don't know. All right, and enjoying peace. Okay, the Ghost Beer asks, we have similar conversation in the wargaming community. I personally find gaming more modern conflicts uncomfortable. Yeah, it is uncomfortable.
The thing is, our host in Cold War channel, he was
David.
David. He visited this. What do you call it? basically the place where the collectionists were selling stuff from the Second World War, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, obviously I'm going there like a person who is interested in history, but some people go to the Second World War memorabilia festival because they feel some kind of twisted, perverted connection to it, if you know what I mean. That's why I feel like talking about modern conflict is a bit slimy in a way. It's like you are earning money from controversy, which we don't want to do. We don't want to be these merchants of controversy. There's enough of these people on YouTube, and it's just not us.
Okay. Well said. Okay, so we have some conversation. Okay. I'm not flat. Stop asking. I really don't think Europe will have another war. I hope you're right. Honestly, I see East Asia having another war. Could be like, the war can happen anywhere nowadays. It's just so stupid. Okay. Afra Bears, who do you guys think is better, Subutai or Khalid ibn Walid?
So both of them, the problem is both of them is that we don't have all the sources we need. Basically, I think I said that somewhere. Byzantines are really interesting. They have detailed reports about grain supply from a single city in year, 955, right? But there is a big portion of the early Muslim expansion that is not covered in the Byzantine sources, which is funny, and funny in not a good way, in a bad way. And they are covered in Muslim sources, and all the Muslim sources now are considered credible because secondary Byzantine sources confirm primary Muslim sources. It still leaves much to be, I don't know. There are portions of this verse that are basically not covered well. We don't have enough details, etc. Same goes for Subutai. For instance, in Russian sources, you can see that upon his return from Battle of Khalkha and the first invasion of Rus, some Russian sources claim that he was defeated by Bulgars, by Volga Bulgars in the region. No Chinese and no Mongol source confirms it. So you are left with basically impossible job of having two sources and not being able to confirm them. And that goes for both Subutai and Khalid, I think.
So who had most impact in history?
Most impact is Khalid, obviously.
I think so too. I think so too. And
because I think that without Subutai, Mongols would be able to advance, probably.
And I think we're omitting the one important guy with the Subutai is Jebe, who was his sidekick basically. They were equals. Yeah, deadly duo. I would call them. They come all the way through around Azerbaijan, modern Georgia. They fight everybody. Everybody went to it's crazy. And I also think that Khalid ibn Walid had a big impact. And as our Muslim viewer said that his nickname was Sword of Allah. All right, Ekmal Sukarna Epimedes has made a video on the Ashanti Empire. Supposing you want to make a video on this topic, you can use. Well, we don't use anybody's video as a reference. We try to go and read the source, read the books.
Yeah. The thing is, I try to watch our colleagues on YouTube, but one thing that I am doing deliberately, if I know that a topic will be covered by us in the near future, I don't watch the video because I don't know if we have any writers right now in chat. We have quite a few in Discord, and they will know what I'm trying to say. When you are writing, don't read, because whatever you are reading will influence you. And that's not a bad thing. Obviously, I think that Epimedes makes a very interesting videos. I'm just trying to steer clear of all the topics that we'll cover in future. That's my strategy with that.
Okay, next question. I'm not flat, stop asking. Have you traveled to other countries? If you did, what was your favorite country? Also, what country you wish to travel in the future?
So, I think you traveled more than me.
I think I did.
Yeah.
Like you tell me what's your favorite country.
So I was in Italy, Spain, France, Turkey, obviously.
You studied in Turkey.
Switzerland. Yeah, I studied in Istanbul. Switzerland, Georgia, obviously. Canada, obviously. We're right in Toronto right now. But probably the most impact on me had Albania. It will be a bit difficult to...
Albania?
Yes, Albania.
What?
And that was the first time I heard about Skanderbeg.
Shame on you.
Shame on me. But I was 14 back then, so not big shame.
How did you get to Albania when you were?
It's
surreal stuff.
It's not for here, basically. But yeah, Albania was really magical for me at that point. If you
Like,
are,
is that your favorite place?
it's not my favorite place, but it's it's a place that had the biggest impact when I was 14 years old, basically.
I see. Okay.
And if you need to visit the I don't know if you guys watched the video on Skanderbeg, but if you have watched, you heard about his capital of Korea. This Korea at that point in time was one of the most impressive fortresses in Europe, and it stopped the
We had the Battle of Korea. Right?
yeah, it stopped the Ottomans like 4 or 5 times. So it's if when you look at it, you feel the entire history. I don't know around you. It's incredible.
Yeah, I traveled a lot too. I've in many countries. The one that I like most, like I used to like Istanbul a lot, Turkey, but recently it changed a lot with the events that's happening in that region. I really liked Stockholm, Sweden. It was beautiful small islands, bridges, and you go back and forth. But I think the most impactful was Nuremberg, because I went to the museum when the Nuremberg trial happened, and you don't realize how, if you go there, you saw that those seats, the trial happened and all that stuff, and you kind of try to imagine, and you have footages that showing you, it's really, really impactful. When you talk about this theory, you watch movies, you read books. It's not as impactful once you are in the middle of that, trial thing. It was pretty impactful for me. Where we want to go? There are a few countries that I think it's going to be really interesting to go. I don't know if it's safe to go or not. I would like to go to probably North Korea. It's going to be interesting if it is safe enough. Mongolia can be really interesting to go and to see how the people live today. Some Southeast Asia countries can be really, really interesting to me. South America is interesting, that I would love to visit one day.
For me, it's Greece. I need to be in Greece. I need to visit Greece. I still haven't been in Greece, and it's killing me. So
Greece is good.
That should change,
especially summertime.
Yeah.
Right. So Bruce Baker said that it was a joke about the teammate killing me. Yeah, that's bad all the time. Rafael says about Azerbaijan perfectly makes sense. Okay. Hotel Rwanda is one of my favorite movies. I agree. It's one of the, it's one of the good movies about Rwandan genocide. Ekmal said that the email you sent me earlier, it's a message to send. Yeah, we'll respond to you. We use that email as our main email. Albania was magical. What was her name? What was her name?
Her name?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Did you meet somebody there? That's the.
I met the history of Albania. It was really good.
Okay.
I was 14. For me, it was really impactful.
Okay. Evan Curtis asks, do you guys have plans for more videos? Please. Yeah, World War II. Yes, actually, we do have plans to cover a little bit more, because with the World War II, we feel that it is overdone. It's saturated. We instead will focus to battles like Korean War. We'll do Vietnam War in 5-6 episodes, like extended. But we will go back and do some of the World War II battles. Actually, we did a Patreon, and we expect that Battle of Berlin will win, but it never won.
Yeah.
Dien Bien Phu and the Actually, Cyprus won the vote,
yeah.
but the Dien Bien Phu was very close to that. But we're gonna do the Dien Bien Phu.
Okay, guys, we are running out of time, so last questions. Let's do that.
Yeah, let's do it. It is 1 hour and 40 minutes. We're doing this. We're gonna do this more regularly. Please let us know if you like this or if you dislike it. We'll try to improve each time. So yeah,
I will drop some weight probably.
it will never happen. So like we have a video. He's answering the Patreon questions. He said that he will drop the weight. He never did that. It's okay. Also the cowboy people are predominantly Muslim, and the people are passed away from. Okay, this is not really the question. If you guys had a time machine, which time would you visit? Like, I won't visit any time, to be honest, because I can't imagine life without refrigerator. So I'm pretty sure it's gonna be really bad. Like you can see some people romanticize going back in time, see what's happening. It's really bad time. Don't go there. You know, the time that we live in today, I think it's way better than what was 100 years ago.
If we ever invent time machines, we also need to invent some kind of clock of invisibility, basically.
Yeah, you don't want to be part of that. So like you can go watch, come back, but you don't want to be part of that society because it was pretty bad.
The thing is, we spend so much time together talking, so some of our answers will be the same. It's just a friendship thing, I guess.
Yeah, there are lots of things that I can't imagine life without it. So it's kind of be really bad. Ekmal, this syncretism and great Islamic purism at the same time that you meant. Okay, Padri War began. Again, more pitch for Padri War. We'll definitely look into this. In the future, would you do videos about the 3 Abrahamic religions? Interesting.
What is the angle there? So, like the description of the religions, the way they were formed, something like that. Because I'm really not a theologian, I guess. The best theology I know is probably the Greek mythology.
If you can consider that.
But it's theology, so yeah, the best one I know is that. So we really don't want to spend time on controversies, as I said before. So, for instance, we started our series on the Muslim expansions with Yarmouk, right? We probably could have started this with the wars fought by Muhammad in Arabia first, but they will create more controversies and they will have really educational value, I guess.
Yeah, even today, like under our 6-day war video, Arab-Israeli war, you don't see any historical discussion. You just see that people, hey, we did this right, It's really hard, to cover that kind of topics. Raphael says that he had to cook. I'm curious what you're cooking, Raphael, because I'm hungry. So I hope it's something.
Entitled Vietnam War by Evan Curtis. Yes, Evan. We think that we'll start with the French-Vietnam War first.
Dien Bien Phu, probably French in the China. We will try to tie into our Cold War channel. So I think we try to do that with the first Arab-Israeli war. We kind of told the background of the events, extensively in Cold War channel. We talk about the Arab countries, how the events that leading to the battle. And in Kings and Generals, we actually covered the battle itself. We'll try to do exactly the same thing because I think the Vietnam War is really, really important to cover. Lots of things happened. It's important for the Cold War period, Cold War channel. So we'll try to tie in a little bit. We couldn't do that with the Korean War because we were timing were very behind in the Cold War channel for the Korean War. But ideally, for the modern warfare, we think that the Cold War channel and the Kings and Generals should work together. They should complete each other. The political situation, events that's leading to the battle, will cover in the Cold War channel, and the battle itself is going to be in the Kings and Generals channel. So if you watch both together, you will understand events a little bit more better. So let's take a few last questions. That's a good one. Main God is still happening. So my God is still happening. Yeah, well, we love talking to you guys. So it's
Not
really
Matt
hard
in
to stop.
general.
Yeah, we talk to Matt all the time. Patreon was acting weird. Can any of you can confirm my subscription?
What is your nickname there?
Stuart Turner. I don't know if it's the real name.
I will check.
But if you found this stream, I think you should be okay. If I don't know.
Yeah. If you found it from your.
But please check. Just make sure that everything
What
in
is
there.
name?
So they gossip about you. Excited water. What did they say? Matt. We told nice
The
things
name?
about
Stuart Turner.
Stuart
Yeah,
Turner. Okay.
Yeah, he's right here. He actually just became our patron.
Oh, really? You updated you. So thank you very much, Stuart, about
No,
your.
he just became our patron.
Okay, about your generous support. You unlocked the tier that you can suggest us video. Please, send us a message what you want to see, and we'll give you the timeline. But thank you. Like every single penny, every single penny that we're getting from Patreon, we're reinvesting to the channel. We hire more animators, we hire more historians, and if you compare video 2 years ago and the videos that we're releasing today, you will see that difference, that we are investing
Constantly
a bit more,
improving, yeah.
constantly to improve the content frequency. In December, like I'm telling you this, we're trying to go with 3 videos a week schedule, but only for December. So we're trying to accumulate additional videos for December. So thank you very much for your support.
Yeah.
And Stuart, thank you very much for your generous donation. We'll try to make you guys happy. So I want a meal, so Matt also had a meal. This is interesting. Like
Everyone had a meal.
Yeah,
Everyone but me.
except us. So thank you, subscribing, Stuart. Yeah, thank you. Well, this is cool. Jesse Lemieux. I hope I pronounce
Lemieux.
Lemieux. Okay,
Like the hockey player, Lemieux.
From Philadelphia.
Pittsburgh. Yeah.
There was
Pittsburgh Penguins.
other guy in Philadelphia.
Go on.
Okay. Yeah, we lost yesterday to Montreal. Yeah, that was bad. Would you guys do the Cold War video on Australia?
It's planned actually. It's on the schedule. I don't know where it will fit. Probably somewhere before Korean War, to explain how Australia got tangled up in that. But yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Just wanted to make you nothing. Thank you, Stuart. We really appreciate from the bottom of our hearts. Every single penny counts, and that helps us to continue what we're doing. And I don't know if you hear from the beginning. Probably you were not. We were talking about the demonetization, how YouTube is getting more and more restrictive. They really concerned about the words battle, war. Basically, if you go to the guideline of the YouTube, what cannot be monetized, you will see the word war, battle cannot be monetized. But we're still able to do that. But I expect at some point, all of our videos will be demonetized, and this actually helps a lot to keep things running. Okay, August, proud of you guys. More publicly visible, more quizzes, and maybe more multinational polls and videos would be great. Take care. Thank you, August. August is one of our animators, and he is one of the most important guys in Kings and Generals. Thank you.
Samuel Moore, we are praying for you to get rich. So yes.
So yeah. Afrobeards, yes, thank you guys for enjoying the content. We will try to make this regularly.
Once a month, I think.
Once a month. So prepare your questions. And this is not only like we talk, you guys listen. It should be a little bit more interactive. Yeah. So ask us questions, ask us things. We'll try.
Maybe we'll play a game together. Maybe we'll watch something together.
So let's just conclude. You say that, yeah. Jesse said that you said it right.
Yeah, Lemieux.
Jesse Lemieux. Are you from Canada or France or?
Probably Canada.
Probably Canada, right? We English pronounce Lemox. Lemox.
Can you stop.
Yeah, I remember the first one when I say the word Quebecois, it's a Quebecois.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what? It's Quebecois? That's how it's written?
Before you start another civil war, please.
Samuel Moore, thank you for considering that. You know, I wish all of you to get rich and to help us not to get rich, but to help us to keep things running. Cold War Channel is the best, gives the host whatever he wants. That's a little bit more problematic to give him whatever he wants, but he's a great guy, honestly. And with the Cold War, I don't know if you caught, in 2 weeks we're going to Ottawa to the DFN bunker. It's the bunker that was built for the government of Canada during the Cold War, early 50s. We're gonna go there. We'll have the field trip. We'll film a few episodes. Olaf, hey. So yeah, it's gonna be cool. We're looking forward to this. Maybe we just try to get more experience with the field trips that we can go. Like, I wish we can go to Chernobyl, we can go to Gomel, Pripyat, you know, film all that stuff. We can go to Moscow to film some stuff. We can go to Berlin to film some stuff, because there are lots of fascinating. And then with the Cold War, the best thing is that lots of those places are still in there. You can go and film and talk, and that is amazing. Please don't joke about the Matt. He'll be.
It's Apex jokes.
Yeah.
So please don't joke about Apex.
So Jesse says that his parents from Montreal, but I am a Californian boy. Yeah, fellow Canadian. Nice. We see more people just joined, but it's 17 people, so we'll just conclude in 8 minutes. So okay, so we'll end stream at 2. We still have 7 minutes just to conclude. Hey guys, thanks for the great content. Howard Siegel Hockenberg asked, quick question, if you know, who's your favorite warlord and why? Warlord? It's a little bit, yeah.
Warlord. I'm trying to think about it. I guess
Germanicus, Matt says.
Is Warlord and General the same thing for you?
I don't know.
Probably not. Because I can go with someone like Pyrrhus, for instance, and Pyrrhus is basically the god of war, right? So the games are not about him, but they totally should be about him. People like Pyrrhus and Gustavus Adolphus, I don't really want to glorify them, but if you are...
It's sad day today for Gustavus Adolphus.
Yes, it's sad day for Gustavus. He died today in our video. Yeah. But for me, Gustavus Adolphus and Pyrrhus, they are like the avatars of God of War, basically. So they are for me.
Good answer. Howard, don't know if they respond, but historians. But yeah, Matt is one of the historians on the channel. Like, we're talking about Matt a lot. I think we should give him badge or something. That
we can't give him badge.
We cannot. Okay.
No.
Unfortunate.
I don't want him to have a badge.
So Ekmal says that. Lowest attention span is there. The lowest attention span.
Your favorite usurper?
No, let's Ekmal, let's already include the topics Juan Perón and Indonesian national. So not Juan Perón, but in Indonesian video is gonna be released in a few weeks. We recorded that.
Yesterday, actually.
Yesterday we had the session. We recorded 4 videos, so it's gonna be released. So who's your favorite usurper?
Oh, that's difficult.
That's difficult. He said that mine is Alexios Kamenos. And yeah, like the...
So basically, again, I will go by the videos that I finished last. Because whatever you are working on, I spend so much time on one videos, it becomes some kind of fetish for me, basically. We talked, in our next video, we talked about Abbasid revolution in Caliphate. So basically, it's really interesting in terms of the cultural difference between Umayyads and the Abbasids. Abbasids were much more peace-like, I guess. They really preferred to trade. They really preferred to have cultural ties. There are extensive cultural ties between Harun al-Rashid and Charlemagne, right?
Yeah, Charlemagne.
So for me, the most important, at least right now, the most interesting usurpers are Abbasids, because they really transformed the Caliphate closer to what it was during the Rashidun times.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's really what I think right now, basically.
Okay, so
Sarah
Malay
Kerrigan.
Archer, my favorite warlord. Jesse says Sarah Kerrigan. I
Who?
don't know, the Queen of
Who?
Blades. Let's Google it. Okay, or Nuke Gandilul. Okay.
Sorry, Kerrigan. StarCraft.
Oh, okay.
I have never actually played StarCraft. Can you imagine that?
Me neither.
I have played probably every strategy out there, but StarCraft never. Interesting.
Okay. Any more questions? It's from StarCraft.
Yeah.
Any more questions? So okay. So I think this was pretty cool. Thank you guys a lot.
We love you guys, most of you.
Yeah, we love you. Thank you.
Okay,
for...
Howard, last one.
I have one. Okay, last one. We still have 4.
Type slowly but surely.
Yeah.
Do that.
When Alexander. Okay. Rode in the Middle East. He saw. Don't worry. You can type your question and we'll read it.
Yeah. I really don't know. I heard this angle basically, and it's not only Alexander. Before Alexander, the Achaemenids also had the same, let's say, angle. We see in the Iranian sources that Achaemenids really didn't know much about the peoples before them, which is really interesting. I think that they didn't know, for instance, about the earliest Mesopotamian civilizations, and it really fascinated them. So I think that Alexander kind of took over the empire, and he also had no knowledge of the early Mesopotamian civilizations, right? And that's what fascinated him in Iran and Iraq. But I'm not an expert on this area, so...
Okay. So guys, again, thank you very much
We love you.
joining us today. Thank you very much for your generous support. Without it, we won't be able to do what we're doing today. Thank you for letting us to create historical documentaries, not only for you, but for everybody else out in
Basically, what
YouTube
you
community.
help us with, everybody is enjoying the fruits of that.
Exactly. So basically, you are enabling our content for others, and we try to, educate people. Not educate. Educate maybe is a wrong word, but make history much more interactive, a little bit more entertaining, right? So people can work, because history in general, we have
It's
this
dry.
perception about history is dry, thick books you have to read, and it's not interesting. But when you do that visually, it's much more fascinating, and especially if you see the tactics, how troops move around. So thank you very much. Every single penny counts. We will do this Q&A sessions more often, and please join us. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation. If you have any suggestions, concerns, feedback, anything, just let us know. Our email is info@kingsandgenerals.net, and let us know how you feel about this format, this stream. We'll try to improve next time. I don't know if we're in focus. From this screen I see that we're in focus, but we may not be. Just let us know. Again, thank you very much. Enjoy your Sunday, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Yes, we'll see you. Bye now.
So we did it.